What's up everyone, welcome to our next video. Today I'm going to show you another Dagger hand paint textures, but this time we'll study how to paint gem material. I'm going to experiment with the formula bit, so this video I hope will be a bit shorter. I'll start from the ready base textures made in Substance Painter and focus only on painting techniques in code. Join us in Discord where we'll share with you the model of this Dagger, so you can try to paint it by yourself at home. Let's begin. Let's start to work on this Dagger. And first I would like to describe the process and the materials. So we have two materials. It's a crystal and it's a like purple nothing. I don't know what is this. So and when you have to paint something you don't know what is this, like unclear material, you don't have any like specific rules. When you paint some metal or gold, or when you paint some soft woman face, you have some rules how to make it like beautiful. And for the unclear materials you don't have specific rules, like you don't need to make some very bright highlights or something, or deep shadows. You just have to think about general artistic rules, like that. So about general artistic rules we will speak about that in this movie. So we have unclear material, purple material, and I think it will be like it's our like rest zone where your eyes have some rest. If you want to make something like interesting, you have to think about rest zone and about the focus zone. So you have to focus your attention to a specific area to make this object, the texture, like perfect. Let's speak more about the crystal, because it has some specific things you have to paint. And first you have to paint. You have to know that almost every, at least our crystals, our gem materials, it has like very saturated colors. It's the first you have to do. The second thing is gradient. Okay, gradient is a way how to paint your colors, how to paint your saturated colors. Gradients, it's a very usual rule. So saturated colors, gradients, and okay, very deep shadow. Deep shadow is very important for the crystal. It's actually, yes, about few words about my references. I found it in the Pinterest, and it's very important to find, if you have some very difficult material, you have to think about very beautiful references. It's very important to don't paint the material from your head like that. So just study some references, find some references. So very deep shadow, and sure, of course, it's very bright highlight. So four very important things. It's saturated color, it's a gradients, it's a very deep shadow, and very bright highlight. And it's the fifth thing, it's a contour. It's your outline. You have if you have very like a lot of dark shadows, so you see that your material has some deep material. It's very interesting effect when you have very like dark surface. At the outline you have like it's the next to your dark surface you have very bright highlight. It's very cool contrast, very cool scene, how you can like emphasize your crystal. And the fifth thing, very important, it's your outline. If you have very deep dark like shadows, like dark element, your crystal, and you can like split him from your dark background with a very bright outline. It's very cool thing. And let's start. And before we have started, I would like to say that we try to speed up this tutorial, so it will take not 1.5 hours, but like in half, because I understand that we are all lazy. I'm lazy, you know, and I don't have too much time to look at some boring, like, tutorials, and it's just when you get back to the home, you want to have some rest, and you have to have some time with your family and so on, and so just it's not very cool when I'm appreciated, but I think it's not cool when the tutorial takes like 1.5 hour. So we'll speed up, and we will experiment with the format specifically for you, so you have to get all important information in a very short time. So what I do right now: first I started with some bright gradients. It was in first like seconds, and then I go on with deep shadows, Few things I want to say about this. So our base texture of this crystal, it has already a very like bright color. So, but if you already have very bright color for your textures, you have to add some shadows, So we have two ways how to make. First, your base texture is dark, a bit more darker, and then everything you need to work with highlights and lightening, and it's my favorite way. But this time it was my old base textures. I have started from the very old base textures. It's like it has very like bright base textures, and to make it interesting, I have to add more shadows, since it's more difficult than It's always for me. It's always more difficult to add more to make the material darker, like that. So first, it depends on your base textures. If you have crystal, for example, and you make your base textures very bright, you have to add more shadows. If you made your base textures like more darker, you have to add the more lightening, and it's always, for me, it's always more simpler to work with lighter tool. The next thing, the steps how to paint these textures. You have to paint some more shadows and light. So in the first step, I paint more shadows and more light. And usually I split painting shadows and lighting to different steps. In first step, I paint the shadows a bit more darker than my general light value. Then I paint a bit more brighter lighting than my general value, and it's the first step. And then the second step, I paint more darker and more brighter, but not everywhere, only in specific areas where I want to emphasize my textures a bit more. In the third step, I paint like a bit more, even more brighter highlights and darker shadows. Just a moment ago, I added a colored gradient to my very monochromatic textures. It's also very interesting. And after you painted this one or two steps of your more shadows, more lighting, so you like by these steps, doing these steps, you make more like areas of the rest, more areas of the focus areas, and then I enhance my edges. I paint my edges. And one more important thing, when I paint my material, I painted this crystal 3 times. First time, specifically this dagger, I painted it 2 years ago, and one more time I painted it last week, and this tutorial I painted it a few days ago, and every time I painted it like it's not like when you just paint it with the closed eyes. No, it's every time I just have some difficulties and I don't know how to paint, and I don't know how to paint it, how to do that beautiful. So the first thing you have to do is to paint. You have to understand how to make it beautiful in your head. So when you paint these crystals, you have to find a way using these tutorials, sure, or something else. You have to like make it beautiful. So what I want to tell you. First way, I want to be sure every my crystal is a beautiful stone gem, and then when I look at it and I like it, then only then I think about the balance. So in the first steps, I paint my crystal and I want to make it beautiful everywhere, and in the last step I think about how to make some elements to not so detailed, and it's just to fade away some details are fade away on some crystals. So right now what does it mean? It means that we paint some highlights, we paint some shadows right now, but in the next step we will remove that. We will paint it make it not so strong. So it's fine. When you paint something, it's very interesting, it's very beautiful, but then you think that yes, it's beautiful, specifically for this very small stone, it's beautiful, but on the general sword it's not beautiful. It's just not what I want to have, and you just remove something, make it fade away. Okay, after painting the crystal, after I get some 80% of what I would want to get, it's not 100% of my final, it's not the final result of the crystal, but I get something interesting, and then I think it's a good idea to have some rest from the crystals, and just switch to this purple material. And sure, I have started using the same rules. So first I paint some base details, base lighting, base shadows. and then emphasize some places with more brighter edges, brighter details. It's my second step. In the third step, this time I just added some like more colors and bit more brighter, but not everywhere. In specific focus areas where I want, so the man who will look at this sword, so his eyes like have some rest on some areas, and just look more at the elements I would like to it's one of the things you have to think about. Just edit more colors, and it's very easy to do with, we will do that. So it's very easy to do with like overlay. Right now I work on some balance. Yes, I have to just like calm down some elements, make them not so strong. I emphasize this damage on the crystal, but I don't like this very long damage, very long black line on the crystal, and I will remove it later. Also very interesting moment, two interesting moments. First, just try to check your dagger, not only with like in this position. Just try to rotate it on 90 degrees, and check how it looks from this position. So it's very interesting test for your texture. And the second thing is to add some extra color, so when your crystal he have some light, and it works somehow on the clothes, on the next materials, and it has some lighting on that, some not very strong. So you can just paint with, if your gems like reddish, you can paint some reddish colors on the next materials, on the clothes materials to him. And after everything, I try to add more colors to my purple material and looks very interesting now. And it's very easy, just add one more overlay, but very important, it works only when you painted all your details. No, so when you have all details, these first steps, then you can add some overlay and try extra colors. And how to choose the color, it's not so hard. First, some very simple way, it's just if you have like red color, you can check colors near your like red colors. It's like purple and orange, but we have just like some purple, so the close colors it's just like reddish and blue. So try these colors with overlay. Just move from your default base color. I think if you get the textures like this on this step, it's already very cool. It's already very strong, you know, and you can paint. As a matter, most of the artists, they want to do it like more better. So it's just right now I think about how to make it better. Yes, I think about some more brighter highlights, but the matter is that sometimes better to leave it for the engine, you know, so engine will work on your highlights, but to make it more easy for him to choose right place for the highlights, you have to show him. So you have to paint a bit more brighter highlights on your materials, and so the engine knows where you want. And in this step I will paint more colors next to my materials and emphasize the outline. It's one of the way to make your gem like looks very cool. So just emphasize in the end. If you have very deep dark gem textures, you can paint some bright contour. And one more thing, it's very interesting to try not just local colors, but interesting when you make very big gradient with the color. So like look at my like unclear material, blue material. I made some very strong gradient from the bottom to the top, you know. And try it with the overlay, so you will not lose all your details. You just emphasize them. If you have some blue color base general and you try it from the one side reddish color to emphasize your material, from another you can try like bright blue one. No, so you have three colors when you how to emphasize your material. And suddenly I tried my overlay extra color to the crystal, and it become very interesting, you know, this like effect when I emphasize my crystal with the extra bluish overlay. It become very interesting. The point is, if you have already textures, you can always try some ways to emphasize it, like just choose some another color and using overlay try to paint it from one side and from another, from bottom or from the top. Also I left my handle darker and I like emphasize the dark shadows in some areas to make my bright areas more like interesting, more like with focus. to make some focus on bright areas. So if you want to make some, I just added some contrast, no, by adding some shadows. It's flat crystal, and then we added more painting. And it's like it depends on the artist, how you like more. You like more flat crystal, or you want to just make it more, adds more contrast. It depends on overall game art direction.
Let's try something else. Now watch and learn. Here's the deal. You slip and slide on this banana peel.
That's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoy this run. Join us in Discord. We will share the link to this model and you can try it by yourself. Very interesting to know your learning progress. You studied to paint the textures, we study to train people. Thank you very much for watching. See you for the next one.